In this video, we're going to show how to install rattles into Power Prawn lures. The same premise works for most soft plastics. It's super easy to do and just requires one quick tip. So number one, we have the Power Prawn U.S.A. This is the original size. And we have the Battle Rattle capsules. This is the capsule we recommend. It's nice, small, compact. It goes in easily and it doesn't impact the shape of the lure. So there's really no harm done. And with just a little bit extra noise can help increase the amount of attention this lure gets. So if you're fishing, especially if you're fishing not super clear water, the rattles are a big deal. And so here's how to install them. So number one is just know that the best place to put them is right here in the back end. And we want them to be going in the same orientation as the lure. So we want them to be going lengthwise. And so the first step is really to dig a pilot hole with the hook. Any kind of hook will work. I just use the hook that I'm going to rig the bait with. And so what I do is I just go into this top notch and I get flush with the underbelly and I just go straight down, because really the easiest spot to insert it is right at the base of the underbelly cavity, right? Because then you could just put the rattle in and just go down the line, and that cavity, that rattle cavity, is going to go straight down. So we now just made a nice little pilot hole, a nice little hole for that cavity. Make sure to get the barb all the way down in there, so that there's enough room for it. And now for inserting the rattle, we do the pointed side down and we place it in the underbelly just as before. I just place it in there and then slide it down to the right to the bottom. And then that point is going to find that pilot hole that we dug, and then we just push it straight down and it'll go right down in a straight manner right down into that cavity that we dug. And there it's now set. You can now probably barely see the cavity up in there. Those rattles are in there. So now those rattles are in there. There's really no change to the shape of the lure at all. We can shake it. We can hear those rattles. And these rattles are in there for good, right? Especially if you push it down all the way, they are not going to come out. I've done a ton of hardcore fishing with them where I'm skipping up under docks. That's a lot of impact on these lures, and these cavities will simply not fall out. And so the same premise holds true for the smaller Power Prawn as well. So this is the Junior, this is a prototype, and same thing. We go into the underbelly with the hook. We just go flush straight down, go down there nice and deep, go in there a couple times just to dig it out. We got to make sure that we leave plenty of room for that rattle. In this case, we just really need to dig out a little bit more so that rattle doesn't bulge too much and change the shape of the lure, because it's all about the glide of this lure is what gets the strike. So we want to make sure that we don't compromise the shape of the lure. Same thing, right? We get the pointed end first, take it through the slot, and just push it down to the downward side of the underbelly. That point of the rattle cavity is going to find the pilot hole that we dug. And then we just got to carefully push it down. So what I like to do is I like to have 2 fingers on both sides just to make sure that it doesn't pop out. And then with the other finger on the top of it, just push straight down. And what that did is that just pulled those rattles straight in. So that rattle cavity is now in there. I can now no longer see it from the top. It needs to be all the way in. I can't feel it now, just at the natural. Just looking in there, so that rattle cavity is all the way in. It's going straight down towards the tail. It's in perfect spot. I can now hear it. It's in there. It didn't change the shape of the lure, right? Still in good shape, and now it's ready to catch some fish. So I like to do this before I rig them, and that way all the rigging stuff is just out of the way, and I can do it, have it ready to rock. In some cases, right, if you really want to make sure that you don't have to go through this effort on the water, you can just go ahead and just do it before you go, and then repackage them into the packaging, and then you can have all your lures pre-rattled and ready to rock. So that's it for now. Just wanted to share the tip on rattles. I've heard some questions come in on how to install them, and so this is the best way that I found to install the rattles, both on ease of installing and the actual performance of use. Any questions at all, leave a comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet tried out these lures, make sure to give them a try. They're at fishstrong.com. We have the original, and then we have this Junior now that's coming. It's much smaller. Both of them work great, and I really want to make sure that you give these a try, because they have been an absolute blast to fish with. The average fish size has gone up, and these lures just have a great knack for getting the biggest fish to strike. So go to fishstrong.com to claim yours. Otherwise, yeah, just thanks so much for your time and watching this video. Hope to see you again soon.